Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to another episode of Life with Shenita. I am Dr. Shenita Connolly, and I am your host along with the incredible Andrew Snorton, who is joining me this evening as we celebrate amazing women on their journey of life. And we are so excited to share them with you all as well. Andrew, would you like to say something?
Yes, good evening, Shenita, and good evening to everybody tuning in. As many of you know, every month's important, but this month, with it being Women's History Month, it's really critical that we take a moment to go ahead and put the spotlight on women who are making an impact across the board. Think about the stories and narratives that we hear, but there's many that we don't. So tonight is an opportunity to chip away at the stories we don't hear, so we can pivot it to stories that you do hear and need to hear, and then encourage and motivate people to seek out other creative stories of women who are making a difference, not only for Women's History Month, but pretty much each and every day.
Absolutely, because there are so many trailblazers out there doing so many amazing things, and they need to be acknowledged and recognized. And so it is important to me, as well as you, Andrew, that we share the accomplishments, the contributions. And so let's talk a little bit about Women's History Month. It's celebrated annually in March, is a time to recognize, as we said earlier, and to celebrate the contributions of women to history, to culture, to society, and to reflect on their often overlooked achievements and the ongoing struggle for gender equality. The National Women's History Alliance has selected this year their theme to be Moving Forward Together, Women Educating and Inspiring Generations as their theme for 2025. Celebrating again the contributions of women in education, mentorship, and leadership. This theme highlights and celebrates the powerful influence of women who have dedicated their lives to education, mentorship, and leadership in shaping the minds and futures of all generations. The women who we have this evening are definitely a powerful influence in their respective personal and professional lives. So with that being said, we'd like to bring them in and introduce you all to our special guest this evening. First, we have Miss Ramona Bivins. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you this evening?
Wonderful. How are you?
I am well, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
It is an honor and a pleasure to join you this evening. Thank you.
Yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
We hear you well.
Good.
Next up, we have Ms. Leslie Babe Savage joining us all the way from Dubai. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes, and I'm so glad you finally made it because we've been trying this since the beginning of the year. So
I know, right?
Yes. That's what happens when you're busy.
That's right.
Yeah.
I wanted to be on with Ramona. And
you were supposed to be on with Ramona.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go.
Next up is DrJai. Welcome, DrJai.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing?
Wonderful. We're so honored to have you carve out time to be here with us this evening. Thank you so much for saying yes.
It's a pleasure. I'm so excited and honored to be here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Next up, we have Ms. Veatrice Thomas Martin. Welcome and thank you so much, Ms. Veatrice.
Thank you for honoring me like this.
Yes, we're just grateful to be able to just highlight what you all do and share you with the world. Whether it's today, next year, next week, other people will learn about your journeys. So we're excited. Last but certainly not least, we have Ms. Tyronica Carter. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Good evening. Thank you so much for saying yes to joining us this evening. And
Yes, it is an honor to be here. Thank you.
yes. And before we get started, I would like for everyone that's watching to like and share the broadcast. It is important for us to share this information because these amazing women have something that will add value to your life. And so if we don't share, somebody might miss it, and we don't want you to miss it. So with that being said, Andrew, would you introduce these lovely ladies in your own way?
Yeah, sure. Well, first off, again, it's a pleasure to be a part of tonight, and obviously continued words of encouragement, well wishes, all that, and then some to everybody on panel. Before I guess we really dive in, Dr. Shenita, I think it might be a good time for us to do a little bit of ice to kind of mix it up before we really get into the nuts and bolts for tonight.
I like it.
So let me go ahead and put the question out there, and we can just go around. I'll go ahead and put this out there, and then I'll go based on the order that I have. So it's putting a little bit of a creative twist on it. What would you say? I want you to think about this, not too long, but just long. What would you say would be one thing about you that people would find a little bit unusual, but creatively different? So I'll run that back again. What's one thing about you that when people find out, they would find that a little bit unusual, but creatively different? So I'm going to go ahead and have Ms. Knight Savage get us started.
Well, what do you think? Okay. I think the first thing when I tell someone that I am the first African American woman to own a hair salon in the Middle East. So that's something that people don't know about me. Some people do, people over here do, but people in the US, a lot of people in the US don't know that. So that's a little fun fact. I could say something else, but I'm gonna, you know. The other thing I wanted to say is I don't know why I like the smell of alcohol, like isopropyl alcohol. But that's not creative.
We're going to say this. It sounds a little bit different, but we know that we'll say rubbing alcohol has some purpose in its own little subtle way. You're kind of telling us about doing it, but we all appreciate you sharing something that's a little bit unusual, but it would be still a little bit creative.
Okay.
She nailed that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Beg your pardon.
I said she did nail that because I would have never guessed that.
But that's why I put the word creative out there.
Yes. I love it.
So our next person to answer that question, what would be something that people would find when they find out about you, a little bit unusual yet creative? Let's go ahead and throw the question to Ms. Carter.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I was with the unusual part, not sure how creative it is, but a lot of people are always surprised. One thing they find out about me is I'm well put together. I love fashion. I love to be cutesy and all things girly. However, I am from the deep South, and I will throw some cowboy boots on and get out there and milk a cow and ride a horse and do all those things. So I think that helps me to be creative in the fact that I am relatable in so many ways, but I love the country. I am a country girl, and I love everything about animals and farms.
So it sounds like that quiet versatility, like people see you in one area, but you have the ability to move in other areas. Definitely the country piece. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that definitely. Definitely. Well, thank you.
I love that. A country girl at heart.
I am.
Me too.
Awesome. So,
Me too.
throwing that same question to our next person, Dr. Johnson. One thing that people, when they find out about you, a little bit unusual, but yet it's a little bit creative.
Well, I could say one thing that they will probably think is kind of a little bit creative. I've always been in my books. I was always the nerdy type. But I have this special talent for music. So I've been playing the piano ever since I was a little girl. So I loved music. I love playing the piano, and that's just my heart. And I love horses too. But we definitely got to go riding. I music is my heart. So I love playing the piano.
Well,
Ooh, the piano. Ooh,
definitely, as many people know, music definitely taps into that creative genius.
yes.
Two people that have an affinity for the boots, horses, country. So see, we're doing a little bit of networking and bonding before didn't even realize it.
Yes, we are.
Hey, next up with the question of when people find out about this about you, it may be a little bit unusual, but it's definitely something that has creative tendency. Ms. Bivins, what would you like to share?
Well, Miss Carter kind of stole my thunder because I'm like her, and Miss Dr. Connolly can tell you I'm prissy, like to dress, cute to everything, but down underneath all that, I am a country girl. I'm from Texas, so my grandparents on one side we had cattle. I used to go out and help feed the cows. My grandparents on the other side, my grandfather had hogs, pigs, whatever you want to call them. We used to kill them. My grandmother used to go in the yard and get a chicken, wring the neck. People don't know that side of me. Now, it's funny because I was
all of that.
right. So a friend of mine, I was telling him about. He said, "Oh, you country?" I said, "Yeah, I am." And I'm old fashioned still. I still believe in if I'm in a relationship or married or whatever, I still believe in fixing a man's plate and putting it on the table for him.
Me too.
I do too, actually.
Where the fans at?
Yeah, what is that? I'm gonna keep
A little bit.
But and I'm glad that we're asking this because again, in peeling back a few of the layers, like a number of people really have those country, those I'll say small town roots, that discipline, that balance. You already alluded to family and community things along those lines. So these are good things to know. So we definitely appreciate you sharing. Ms. Martin, what's the one thing or a thing that when people find out it would be considered maybe a little bit unusual, but yet it's still creative about it?
Well, we could start with my first name. Veatrice is just a misspelling on my birth certificate that my mother left that way. So I spend my life correcting my first name, which gives you a complete mindset. Because when somebody asks me my name, I tell them Veatrice, and they look at me cross-eyed because they can't relate the V with the B. So I have to stand there a millisecond so they can register it mentally. And I've been doing that all my life. Matter of fact, when I was in elementary school, I had a teacher keep me back because she told me I didn't know how to spell my name.
Oh, wow.
So I've been dealing with that all my life, which gives you a completely different mindset. And also, last year I turned 75.
What a blessing.
And what I started doing is going backwards so I can go forward again. And what I started doing is I started dating myself. And I realized I know all about my wounded self because there's a cliche that says you spend your adulthood getting over the trauma of your childhood, which is true. So I have been on this journey to meet the person that God created, which is a nice journey.
I love that.
I love that.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, for all of you, for that little icebreaker, kind of spinning one of the questions, but it really does, again, like I said, peel back a couple of layers, and it gives us just a snapshot of basically not only who you are, but whose you are. So many thanks for being open and just telling it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at my age, you don't care. I mean, you just go for it.
That's right. What do you have to lose at 75?
I don't have nothing to lose anymore. Whatever is lost is lost. You know,
That's right.
I got everything to gain now.
Well, Andrew, I want to just, welcome the people who are in the chat, and just welcome them for the comments that they're making. We have Siobhan Booker, we have April Beverly, we have Fancy Purple that I think is Felicia Smith. So we just want to say thank you for being present. Thank you to everyone that has shared the broadcast this evening. And so as we continue this conversation, ladies, Andrew, did you want to share something else before we move on to?
Oh, no, by all means.
Okay. So ladies, when we think of women's history or just history in general in your journey, when you were younger, did you see yourself in this place and space that you're in right now? Let's start with Dr. Johnson. When you were younger, did you see yourself as a doctor?
Not really. I always saw myself helping people. Being there since I volunteered so much in church, I really knew that my purpose was caring for others. I knew that, but I didn't know exactly which path I was going to be going. But when I became as a teenager, and then I had so many, I say struggles and challenges, it actually opened up my eyes of what I really want to be. And my the profound moment that really took me there is when my family and I was in a bad car accident, and we was in the hospital for about 6 months plus in Mississippi. And by me being able to save my brother's arm because we hit a bridge, and I remember wrapping it up and just holding it and stopping it. By me saving his arm was my profound moment of knowing that that's where I needed to be. And
wow.
From that day on, even though tornadoes and abuse and all of that, I just know that giving back to the community during my medical profession, as well as my counseling and trauma and whatever I can do to give back to others, that's my purpose. I know that's my purpose. Other than that, I just love people, and whatever I can do, I'm gonna do. So it's been a journey, but I am here today, and as long as I can give back, if I can help just one person each day, I'm satisfied.
I love it. Tyronica, did you know? Thank you for that, Dr. Johnson. Did you know as a child that you would be in this space where you are today? Because I believe you were an educator turned entrepreneur. Can you tell us about your journey a little bit?
I think she froze again.
She froze up again.
Okay, so we'll move on to Babe. Tell us a little bit about yours, and then we'll get back to hopefully Tyronica in a few. Did you know you would be in this space right here? Oh, there she is, Tyronica.
Oh, go ahead, Tyronica.
I was like, as soon as you come to me, here we go.
So go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, absolutely not. And I hear that question a lot because all I ever wanted to do growing up, my whole life, I wanted to be a teacher. Playing with my sisters. And the summer times we played school, I was the teacher. That was what I went to school for. The only thing I ever looked into. And to be here in this space now where I'm an entrepreneur and leading one of a huge team now in the direct sales industry, and now coaching others to do the same, I absolutely do not. But one of the things people tell me all the time is, Ty, you're still an educator. Your classroom just looks different. So that's where I accept it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Same question, Babe.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to go off of Tyronica because I'm the same. I always wanted to be in the hair salon doing hair behind the chair, but I'm sure if there's someone in the beauty industry watching, those long days behind that chair get rough. And I had a freak accident happen here and it caused me to be on my off my feet for like 6 weeks, and it put me in the headspace of what would I actually do if I couldn't go to the salon and do hair. And that's how I that was the catalyst for me pivoting into teaching people how to trade stocks and crypto and educating them about investing and all of that. But absolutely not would I think that I would be in anything in finance, because quite frankly, in college, I was horrible with money.
Not today. That's
on
not
this,
today,
on this
right?
platform with all of you beautiful ladies, and you too, Andrew. Um, but no, never ever would I expect to be here. But I'm honored.
And one history fact that you shared with us earlier, would you share that with the audience?
I am the first African American to own a beauty business in UAE, the Middle East. And how I found out, quick story, how I found out over here in the Middle East, you have to get things transcribed from Arabic to English and back from English to Arabic. And when I went to the office, they sent me away several times, because when you go to government offices, you have to cover. And I didn't know that. So the first time I went, I didn't know. I went back another time. The guy said, your wrists are showing. So on the sixth time that I got there, I was completely covered. Even my only thing out was my eyes. And he said, well, we don't have a box for you. And I said, what do you mean you don't have a box? And he said, we don't have a box to check, what you are. And I said, what do you mean? He said, we don't have African American to check. And I said, no, you're going to give me this box and you're going to check this box today. So this lady saw me looking totally distraught, and she actually pulled me over, and I told her the situation, and she said, come, I will do for you. So she actually redid the document, created the box. And when she got ready to check it, I said, oh no, I'm checking it. I'm checking the box myself. So that's how I found out that I was the first one.
Wow. Amazing. Wow. Amazing. So thank you for sharing that. Miss Veatrice, did you know that you would be on the journey you were on as a child?
No.
Did not.
I realized life has twists and turns. When you think you're on one road, I don't care what you plan for you, God has other plans. Mm-hmm. I grew up in a very dysfunctional atmosphere. So when you come from dysfunctional, your life is day by day. You're a survivor. And what I thought I would be doing is not what I'm doing at all. I graduated from high school at 16. I got a good government job. I had to lie about my age because you had to be 18 to get a job. My first job was with the Navy Department. I'm from DC. So I got my first job was with the Pentagon. I worked for an admiral. He told me what my duty was for him, and I've been doing that most of my life. He told me that my job was to assist him to look good to the public. That's my passion. I'm a background person. I call myself the stage manager of life. I like making other people look good.
I love it.
And I'm good at it.
I love it. And that makes you amazing. Thank you so much.
And I have the first thing, it's not about my ego. That has already been set aside. So I can't say I don't have an ego, but I keep it in perspective.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Last but certainly not least, Miss Bivins, did you know that you were going to be on this journey that you're on when you were a young girl in Texas?
So yes and no. I say no because as a child, I always wanted to be a pediatrician. But when I got into high school and I was in a gifted and talented biology class, and when it came time to dissect those worms, those pigs, those frogs, I would skip class. I'm like, I can't do this. I wouldn't be able to do this. So I took my first accounting class as a junior in high school. And during career day, I looked at different careers in accounting. And I said, I want to be a CFO. And I think I tell people all the time, I think I'm one of very few people that's doing what they said they wanted to do. Didn't think it would be in a government environment. I always thought corporate, but God had a different path for me to go on. So I can say, so when I say no, initially no, because I thought I was going to be a doctor. But then I said yes, because while in high school, I said I wanted to be a CFO.
Wow. So you spoke that thing and held it and
Yes.
continued on that journey.
I did, yes.
That's amazing. Andrew.
Yes.
What do you have to add to these incredible journeys?
Well, it comes back to what I said before. When people are willing to open up and share a little bit of this is where I was and this is where I am, that's definitely motivation and encouragement. Another good thing to keep in mind, almost everybody said where they are, they didn't see it coming. That wasn't their focus. And I think for people who are still maybe trying to define their passion or define their purpose, there's hope. Like if you don't know, it's okay that you don't know, but there's going to be some point in time where there's going to be that life event or you heard something from someone else where you're going to pause and pivot and be in the spaces where you're supposed to be, but be in the spaces where your gifts and talents are not only amplifying you and the qualities that you have, but the people that you're charged to serve. And almost everybody in here is doing something that has that service component, that has that sense of balance, perspective, individual growth, collective growth. So the fact that, almost everyone is like, I was here, now I'm here, or I was thinking this other stuff was not even on the radar. Mm-hmm. It lets you know the potential and possibilities are out there each and every day. So that's something that I hope people, as we were jotting notes down, pen right here, jotting a couple notes down. It's blue, so jotting a few notes down that they're all ready before we really dive in.
Yes, absolutely. I want to give each of them an opportunity to share as much of what they're doing as they like. Because there may be someone out there who aspires to be in the finance world, who aspires to be an entrepreneur, who wants to be in the medical profession. What would you say to someone watching that is maybe always wanted to do what you may be doing, but just didn't see it in their future? What can you say to them to encourage them as we celebrate you all today and encourage them to walk in that way? Because sometimes we're just afraid. So what can you say? Let's start with you, Dr. Johnson. What can you say to someone that speak to that person who may be thinking about the medical field, maybe starting out, as a medical assistant, but you want to encourage them to keep going?
I can tell you, just based on my experience all along, the struggle is real. Yeah, of course, nothing is ever given to us. We have to go 110% to even get what we want. But when you have it in your heart and it's your passion and you know it's your purpose, God's going to make a way. He's going to open up doors that you thought that wasn't there. He's going to create opportunities that you didn't even think about. And with you having that heart and that purpose, you can just walk on through. But I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy, but never give up on your dreams, your goals, and hope. You can be whatever you want in this world. We all have 24 hours in a day. What you do with it is how you're going to come out on top. So I say stay true to yourself, embrace yourself, because it comes with your mind, body, and spirit first. and trust in the God and keep moving forward. Can nothing stop you when it's for you? Keep going. And I'm here if you need me.
I love that. That speaks to my heart. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure it touched someone else as well. So the struggle is real, and we need to remember that. And we have to continue through the struggle and know that on the other side of the struggle, there is sunshine. It's almost like when there's a storm and we're waiting for the hurricane to come through. They told us to get in the shower, in the tub, get in the tub high. We know that we have to brace ourselves because it's going to be over soon or at some point. Right. So we have to know that, yes, we may go through a struggle, but there's sunshine on the other side. So
yes,
thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Ms. Beatrice?
Real quick.
Oh, Andrew, yes.
Yeah, so at this point, I know I need to step away, but before I go, again, to everybody on panel, we are definitely grateful and appreciative of you being here. Continue to share your stories of impact. Continue to leave a positive footprint wherever you go. So it's great to be a part of it. All of you, seriously, continue to build off of what you're hearing today and stay connected as best as possible. And again, happy Women's History Month.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank
I
you.
love and appreciate you so much.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
All right.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Oh,
so,
I guess,
yes.
I talk to, because I am a senior, I like to talk to seniors. And my grandmother used to say, I didn't understand till I got to where I am right now. She said, age ain't nothing but a number. and you can be any number you want to be. So when I talk to seniors, I remind them, as long as they have breath, they have life. And don't let your age conquer you. If you still have it in you, do it. I still have it in me, so I do it. I don't let my age at 75, like, oh, okay, well, let me do this. I do that. I say, oh, whatever's next. So what I leave with most women and most seniors is become your own advocate. Whatever you have in you to do, at least try.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Thank you so much. So we're going to encourage them to get up and live a vibrant life until they are no longer living, right?
Yes, I go out
as long as their health
Friday.
allows them to keep moving.
I do. I mean, I said I have a life. God gave me a second wind. Mm-hmm. And what you do with it is up to you. You can sit back and woe is me if you want to, or you know, I decided that I'm going to date myself. I'm going to take myself out and enjoy me. Now, if I meet somebody, that's fine. But if I don't, that's fine too. It's about getting rid of expectation, because to me, expectation is a killer.
Yes. It can definitely.
Don't expect. Go out there and enjoy the life and breath that God has placed in you, because He's trying to let me introduce you to the person I created you to be.
Amen. Well, thank you for that. Yeah. That was a great word. And as we keep it moving,
yes,
let's go over to Miss Bivins. Miss Bivins?
Yes. So one of the things I would say, don't be afraid. Step outside the box. So when I entered my career, I was in a predominantly male and white male at that. There were very few Black women or African American women in school climate.
Kind of reminds you of technology, right?
Yes, and I was fortunate when I started. I actually had a white supervisor. He was the finance director, and I started at a small school district, and where I went to where I graduated from high school. That's where I started.
Wow.
But I have been blessed, and I say a lot of people say fortunate, and lucky. It's a blessing to be placed in an environment with people who pour into you. So everywhere I worked, they poured into me, regardless of their race. I had an older white gentleman. My second job in Houston was a younger Hispanic guy. Took me everywhere, taught me everything, taught me how to navigate the politics. Um, so don't be afraid to step outside of that box. Be persistent. Some doors will get closed in your face, but don't let that stop you. Always keep your head up. I wrote down some things over here. Education. Get the education. I can't stress that enough. Depending on what you want to do, make sure you have that theoretical background to do what you need to do, but also get that experience. Don't be afraid to take that entry level job, and don't worry about the money. The money will come later, right? And just progress. I've done everything in my office that where I am now. I can do every job that's in my office because I've done that as I progressed through my career. And I wasn't afraid to do that. It wasn't beneath me to do that. And even now, I will step in and help my staff out if they need to do something. And the most important thing is honor God in what you do, always. And He'll guide you. Keep it again. I can't reiterate enough. Keep your head up and don't let anything get you down. And Shenita can tell you it's hell at work sometimes, but I always smile.
Yep. You definitely keep your.
I go and complain to her, but I do it with a smile.
And or you go in your office and behind your closed doors.
Yeah, we said choice words.
Yes. So, did I get every one of you all that time? Leslie, did I get you?
I don't think so.
So Leslie.
Tyronica.
Leslie?
Okay, yes. Oh, okay.
Tyronica and Leslie.
Okay. In that order, or you want me to go now?
Go ahead, Leslie. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would say if I was speaking to someone that was looking to get into any new business, first of all, I would start surrounding myself with people that are going to help me achieve that dream. And sometimes you may be in a circle that is not what you need, because you can look at your network and everybody knows that your network is your net worth. So if you look at the 5 people that you're around and those people can't help you get to where you want to be in life, period, not saying that you have to just shun them, but you need to start surrounding yourselves with people who are going to help you get there, because God gives us all a dream, but He is not looking at your bank account. He put a dream in your heart, but He didn't say, "Oh, you only got $42 in the bank. Oh, you only got this. Or only you go." He put that dream in your heart for a reason. And sometimes that dream can cause us, like someone has said earlier, to break out of our comfort zone. And I believe God is not pleased with our comfort. He is pleased with our growth. And I feel that everyone should take that step forward in order to be, a better, just achieve whatever dreams. I always tell my team, hey, write down 10 things that you would love to have right now. And I always tell them, pick one. And pick one that you can have within 24 hours that would make the most impact on your life right now. Choose one. And I said, take that one and put it on a sheet of paper, a clean sheet of paper, and start writing down what you need to do to make that happen. And each day, do something to make that dream happen. It could be something very small, but if you're getting closer to that dream, then that's just chipping away at where you want to be. Just chipping away.
I love it. I love it. And that's inspiring them. You're paying it forward.
Exactly. I'm always here I always tell people, if you ever want to have a business internationally in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Sharjah or wherever, call me. I'm not the person that will tell you, oh, keep hoping. No, I'm going to tell you who to call and where to go.
Right. Right, because you've already gone through the most challenging part.
Oh,
You
and
have
10 years ago, it was much, whoo, it was much worse. And I could tell you some stories on because I'm in a very male dominated country. And to have a business, I'm a woman, I'm Black, and and I'm American. I had all three going against me. So trust me, if anybody can tell you to keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward. But I definitely surrounded myself with people who were already over here, so I could absorb the culture.
I love it. That's inspiring by itself. But on to, thank you, Tyronica. Will you kind of share your
Yes.
thoughts?
Yes, I mean, so far everything that was dropped has been absolutely amazing and the absolute truth. Some of the things, of course, I wanted to say as well. So that lets you know that no matter what it is you're looking into, all of these nuggets and things that are being shared can be incorporated into whatever it is that you're looking for. But what I would say is be open. Sometimes the breakthrough and the opportunity that you're looking for does not come in the form of what it is you think it is, right? So no one would have told me that my gateway to being where I am today would have came in the form of network marketing industry. I was an elementary school teacher, so I'm looking to become I don't know about assistant principal, but other kind of jobs that were outside of the classroom to me was a step up, was moving forward. And working in the maybe in the superintendent's office, that was something. But however, when this opportunity came along, I actually said no. And I told the lady no for 2 years before I finally said yes. And when I said yes, this, I wasn't on the journey for something of this magnitude. I just wanted to make some additional income. And so I say that to say that not only was I open to giving it a try, but I also was open to, as someone said earlier, other opportunities and other doors become open. And so it didn't look like, and at the time I didn't know this is where it was going to. Had no idea. Had no idea the road that was already carved out and paved for me. And so you have to be open. You have to be willing to do things that are out of the norm, because you can't change what you don't change. You have to do something different if you want to see something different. So
That is so true. Wow, that's
Sweetie,
amazing. Yes,
one
yes,
more thing.
yes, please.
And you and I talk about this. Always operate at a high with a high level of integrity.
Yes,
I think that is important. I think all you women probably do that, or we wouldn't be where we are today if we did.
yes,
Because regardless of what anyone says about you, people that know you, and you can go to sleep and go look yourself in the mirror and go to sleep at night. I always
yes.
operate at a very high level of integrity.
That is
Yes.
so important. That's like the foundation when you think of character development or character traits. Humility, integrity. That integrity is at the top. Who am I
Yes.
when nobody's looking?
Yes.
Who am I? Yeah.
You better do what you say you're gonna do, even if you don't want to do it.
Yes.
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 Do
Yes.
what you say you're
And
gonna
I
do.
love what you said, babe, when you talked about your circle.
Yes.
And a lot of times we're afraid to change our circle because
Yeah.
we don't want to lose people. But sometimes,
You got to
like you said, you may not shun them completely, but you might have to move differently as you're
Yeah.
trying to navigate to the next level. And
Right.
so I appreciate all of that
Mhm.
that you all have shared, and our audience is appreciating it too. So kudos to you all. So as we're, we have a few more minutes, but I want you guys to share just an inspirational moment. Say you made it to this level, and because I made it to this level, I've been able to help my family or my community or my friends do this or that. I want you guys to think about it for a minute. We're celebrating you, we're celebrating your accomplishments. And because you were steadfast in your careers, your journey, you've articulated to a different level financially, and now you're in a position, I've been able to do this, or I've been able to do that for my family, something I always dreamed of. Is there someone that can share what that has been like for you on this journey?
I can share real
Okay.
quick. That's a really good question, because one of the things that, again, I heard a couple of these states thrown out from these ladies. I was born in Mississippi, I was raised in Texas, and I live here in Georgia now. So being a girl, Southern girl at heart, and again, you're kind of always that, our generation was always taught, go to school, become a teacher, doctor, lawyer, get a degree, work till you're retired, and then you live life. And one of the things that I can say that I'm the most proud of being able to do, I'm a mom of 2 sons. My oldest is 24. My youngest is a freshman in college. He's 18. And they have been able to watch me on this journey for the past 10 years. They've seen the working mom of being a teacher. They've seen the mom who has come home and, be in that role, and kind of like just the burnout mom of being a teacher. But then they saw me walk into where I am now with being a business owner, learning about entrepreneurship, learning how to just do things, move differently, and move in which kind of like the way of the world is going. And so I'm proud of the fact that I've been able to share that with my children, because now not only do they think of the jobs that they want to be, but now they think about, okay, mom, I want to do this, but the next level is owning it for myself, becoming my own business owner. How do I take ownership? So I'm most proud about passing on generational wealth, generational knowledge, and that my boys can think deeper and bigger. As I shared earlier, we took them to Dubai this past summer for our family vacation. And one of the things that my youngest son said, I said, he said, this is his dream vacation. I said, are you loving it? Are you enjoying it? He said, yeah, Ma, I am. He said, but I'll appreciate it more when I can take myself. And that struck a chord with me. And it reminded me, one last thing, Jeremy Anderson said, my ceiling will be my children's ground floor. And so that was really powerful when he said that, because that is the truth. I'm going to go as take this thing as much to the top as I can, but that lays the foundation of where my children's expectations will be and where they're going to start. So that's where I'm the most proud of.
Legacy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Legacy. Paying it forward for generations, and your children's children will be able to say, my grandma or my great grandma or great great grandma did.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Anyone else would like to share, on this journey, what did that look like? Paying it forward, or you were able to do this.
Yeah.
So for me, it's being in that position has allowed me to help others. Just by, people that I know, sometimes you can't get in the door unless you know somebody. You have the experience, you have the education, but you just keep getting overlooked, right? So me being able to help other people just by saying, hey, I have a friend, or I know this person, that's a good, and you have to be a good worker though. I'm not just gonna refer anybody, but good worker. And I would say my most two proud, and they probably listening, my son and my daughter. When I was working, I was CFO at the county. And my son called, and I think he said he wanted to be a volunteer firefighter. He's working at the Kia plant at the time. And I said, oh, you want to be a firefighter? Say less. Let me call the chief. I know him. I called the chief, and he said, send me his name and number. They called him the next day. He got the job. He's a sergeant now at the fire department.
Wow.
My daughter, who's a single mom, I'm putting her business out. She's going to be mad too, but I don't care. She was looking for a job. She was working, just working her behind off at the airport. And she needed to be off on the weekends with her kids. So she started part-time at the county and worked her way up. And she's doing well on that. I have a couple of people that I work with. My assistant CFO now, I work with him at APS. I've been trying to bring him along with me for the longest, but he's now my assistant CFO. I called him. I said, hey, if the opportunity has come, are you ready? I have people in my office now that we took a chance on, a young guy that worked in accounts payable as a clerk. He's the first person from his family to graduate from college. We promoted him to a position, and we're pouring into him. So I want to give somebody an opportunity like someone gave me an opportunity.
Yes. Absolutely. And that's paying it forward inside your home and outside of your home. It is so rewarding when you have the opportunity to do that. Like, you feel good.
Yes.
Yes. I definitely want to chime in just a little bit. what's close and dear to me is overcoming barriers. And I'm being able to show my nieces and nephews and young girls and young ladies that just because you went through something don't mean that you got to stay there and keep crying about it or keep feeling sorry for it. And for me to be able to come back and overcome obstacles and challenges, and to just say overcome a lot of batteries, I realized that I was able to take care of my father before he passed. Seeing him working hard day and night, struggling, still with the, you can't be this, you can't get this, and they're treating you like you're nobody. My dad worked day and night. I'm sure all of us have seen all of this. And to give my dad in his last days of no worrying, just to know that I was able to take care of him fully. I didn't put him in homes. I didn't put him in no hospitals. He stayed here in my house. I provided him 24/7 care until he passed away. That was my gift, giving back. And when you can come back and do for your parents what they done for you, it's more than a blessing.
That right there, that says a great deal about your heart. Because so many people don't really value or reverence their parents. And their parents gave them life.
That's true.
And so we should respect and honor them, even when there are challenges. And I do understand there are challenges along the way. We talked about that. But I appreciate the fact that you were able to do for your father. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who else? Is it Leslie?
I'll chime in a little something.
Come on, Pensacola.
I think the biggest thing I'm so proud of is that I was talking to my brother one day and he said, yeah, this person does this in the family and this person does. And when he got to me, he said, and you, babe, you're the person that is responsible for teaching us how to create generational wealth. And it's like, because whenever somebody finds out about a stock or a cryptocurrency or trading, or when the NASDAQ crashes, they like, babe, what's going on? And I take pride in that because they value my opinion and they value the fact that I wouldn't steer them wrong and I would tell them the absolute truth in the space of how the finance industry can be totally insane, especially in the times that we live in. And but I feel honored that my family actually calls me first before making an investment or trying to get into trading or trying to get into some type of finance or even have a business. They really, really call me first. And I always tell people I'm an open book. I'm not going to gatekeep on anything that I've done because somebody had to show me how to do it. Or somebody had to take my hand and show me, hey, this is how you do this properly. And who am I to gatekeep from someone else? Woo! So I always tell people, I am a total open book. If you ever wanted to know anything and I know it, I'm totally going to tell you.
Yes.
For real.
We are twins with that because I believe that we are creating
Yes. Just like I told all y'all fly over here. We gonna have. I mean that.
I'm coming.
Me too. I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and she means it too.
I can tell.
Don't say you coming and you don't.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm coming.
Yes.
On my wall, as I'm sitting here, I looked up, and I keep this on my wall, and I'm gonna read it to you. You can either get bitter or you can get better.
Love it.
It is that simple. You can either take what has been dealt to you and allow it to make you a better person, or you allow it to tear you down. The choice does not belong to fate. It belongs to you.
Oh,
I love
And
it.
that's
Take a picture of that. I need you to take a picture of that and drop it.
And in a bad in a very bad state I was in. I was laying prostrated on the floor, crying my heart out. One of those nasty, snotty cries, eyes, nose, everything, and going, why, God, why? That's what he said to me. You have two choices in life. God is not gray. It's no gray area. He said you can either be bitter or you can be better. Those are two choices that God gave me and gave you. So when I talk to, and I minister to a lot of women, and I talk to them just as plain as I'm talking to y'all right now, my mantra is when they go off, or and blame, I call them pronouns. When they go off, when they pronoun she, it, they, what are you going to do? And then what are you doing? Then what? And I leave it at that. And that's how I live my life.
I love it. And you guys have blessed me. And I am so grateful that you all said yes to sharing your journey. And I heard throughout this conversation tonight that we've all dealt with some challenges, and we are overcomers, every one of us. And I thank you, Miss Veatrice, for saying you can either get bitter, you can be bitter or better. The choice is yours. We've all.
Those are the only two choices we got in life. We always have.
I'm stealing that and putting it in my signature line.
Yes,
I am too. We all gonna have it. We all gonna have it.
Yes, Miss Veatrice, please take a picture.
Yes.
Of that.
The gray area is our emotions, which is also to me, it's the most negative thing that ever happened to us is our emotions. Because it's emotions, a lot of emotions are not positive because it keeps us down. Because when you get up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you don't say, oh, I'm wonderfully, fearfully made. You don't see that. You look at your flaws.
You do, yes.
That's the first thing. Your default is flaws. It's negative. And you have to teach yourself to look in the mirror and say, God made me this way and nobody else looks like me, so I must be perfect in God's sight. You have to be your own cheerleader. And those lessons that coming from dysfunction sometimes can be a blessing. And people look at me like I'm crazy when I say that. Because you have to come from a completely avenue to get to another. And with what God don't make mess, we heard that.
Yes.
But we kind of like shrug it off, And I have learned so many lessons for staying on a narrow path that God has placed me on and sharing it with others. Because I don't know, this may sound kind of harsh. I don't allow people to feel sorry for themselves around me.
Yeah.
You're breathing. You start there.
Yes. That is a simple way to always stay humble and grateful. Is we're living, we're breathing. So as So as we're preparing to close, I just want to thank you all, each of you. And I have some amazing men in my life who I reached out to a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I'm going to have some amazing women on the show. And I want to just see if you're willing to join me in celebrating them. And so I have, and I'm going to name them because they have volunteered to gift you guys a little gift for just being here, a little gift to buy yourself a lunch or breakfast. And so we have Frank Williams, we have Michael Pippins, Bernard Shaw. Let me see who my other guys are. I just love the men in my life. Let me just tell y'all. I can just call them and say, will you? And they always say yes. And so I said, I just want to share just a little token of something. And I wanted to come from a male, to these amazing women. And so I just want to say again, from my heart to your heart, thank you for being who you are. You had to be amazing, especially those who Siobhan recommended and said, I think you should consider this one and that one and this one. And so thank you for just being yourself, being your transparent self so that other people can see you. And so look at that. You are amazing as well. I'm not sure if she's saying I am, but thank you.
She's saying you are.
She said you are. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
I just thank
you.
God for, not being intimidated by anyone and their strength and who they are, because I honestly believe we're all made uniquely different. And so we have to shine in our own space and be comfortable where we are. I don't have any envy, any aught against my sisters or my brothers, because they're uniquely themselves. And so I just want to say, continue to shine your light so that others will see you, and that you'll continue to make impact in your personal life and your professional lives, because we need more women like you all shining. And we need more women to say, let's celebrate you. It doesn't hurt. Celebrate others. And so look at all these wonderful comments that we're getting. You see, you made an impact in someone's life just tonight, someone that didn't even know you. And just think about those who you're just meeting on the show that are your fellow guests. You now have a bond, a way to connect with them and keep in touch with them. My homegirl Leslie is waiting for me to Dubai.
Yeah, we family now. We family now, girl.
So now we all.
Look, Ramona, I'm coming to your house because I know you got some good collard greens in there.
I do.
Tyronica, I'm coming to your house because I know I'm getting me a good riding lesson in, a good horseback.
Come on, girl.
Yes.
I got you.
And Miss Veatrice over there, she's gonna make sure that we stay mentally in the space that we be.
She dropped the word tonight.
Right.
Yeah,
and
we have no reason to feel sorry for ourselves.
We
really
don't.
Yeah.
That's right.
We learn how to walk by crawling. If you're on your 2 feet, it's because you crawl first.
Yes.
And you learn how to stand.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's no reason whatsoever. I know the feeling of feeling sorry for yourself, but that's just taking up space. That's this gray area where you don't want to go one way or the other. No, you breathing, you live, you know your name.
Yes.
You know how many people out here don't know their name?
Yeah. We see them on the street, especially the homeless people.
Yes.
Some of them are not even conscious. So yeah, we do.
Like they said, saying God ain't done with you.
He's not.
He is
He ain't done.
Well, if there's any parting words you ladies would like to share briefly and how people can reach you, I know I've shared your banners, but if there's anyone that would like to reach out to you, they're looking for a mentor or what have you, let's go around real quick. Miss Veatrice, can you tell them, I know that I shared, and I'll share the banner again, your email address.
My email is missv1@gmail.com. Also, I have a group Facebook platform that's called Color Me Clayton County. If you're a Clayton County resident, it's only 2 weeks old, but you can come. I call it my yellow pages for Clayton County.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. Dr. Johnson, any parting words? And I'll share your banner again as well.
Okay. You can actually reach me on all the platforms, but my main one is Facebook, DrJai. And my email is divine, divine.jmedcare@gmail.com. And I'm here for you.
Thank you. I love it.
That
Tyronica?
should be her tagline. I'm here for you.
I'm here for
I
you.
I'm
love
here
it.
for
I
you.
love it.
I'm here for you. I
I'm here
love
for
it.
I love it.
Yes.
Yes, well, I can be found on Facebook at Tyronica Stanford Carter, on Instagram at _Tyronica S Carter. And again, I am here after taking the leap of faith and doing something different besides the traditional job. I decided to go into business for myself, and I'm loving it here. And because of that, we talked about paying it forward. I now have a business building coaching business that I do to help anybody who's looking to find out or figure out where to start in your business, how to use social media, how to get your goals and plan together. So I'm currently doing a 15-minute free consultation. So if you go to my website, tyronicacarter.com, you can go ahead and sign up there for a free consultation. And I just look forward to networking and collaborating with anyone who wants to gain that knowledge and I can learn from as well.
Awesome. Leslie?
I'm Babe Savage everywhere. And you hear her saying Leslie, which I don't mind. Because my full name is Leslie Babe Savage. So, well, it used to be Knight. I'm Babe Savage everywhere, babesavage.com. When you go to babesavage.com, there's a ton of ways to get in touch with me. And I'm the person that you want to reach out to when you're ready to start looking at investing in stocks, or whether that's trading futures or any type of cryptocurrency. Before you make an actual investment or start going into it, call me. Let's talk first before you make that leap into the investment world. So as DrJai said, I'm here for you. I'm not gonna steal her tagline, but I'm here for
It's
you.
okay.
But
Okay.
I thank you for having me. It was worth getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning. But I totally, it is 4 a.m. now, but I totally have enjoyed every minute of this so
Thank you
much.
so much for the sacrifice. I so appreciate you more than
It
you
was
know.
worth it. It was worth it.
Yes. And
Thank
last but
you.
certainly not
Thank
least,
you.
Miss Bivins.
I'm still in Miss Beatrice's tagline: "Be better or get better." Okay, this is some
I know
experience.
that's right.
I've
I
had some
know
things
that's
happen
right.
to me. If I had stayed bitter about it, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So I just love it. Be bitter or get better. And so
I
choose
And
love
share it.
choose to
Share it.
get better. Keep your head up. Keep God first, and
Mhm.
always help others. Be willing to help others. And
yes.
thank you so much for allowing us this platform to share our journeys.
Yes.
It's been great.
Yes. I'm
Thank
just
you.
honored that you all said yes. And I want you to hold on before you leave so that I can talk to you about your little gift
Okay.
for each of you all. But just thank you. I was at a conference today with Dr. Jessie Corey, who is one of the board members for the Clayton County Public School System, and Brandy Harvey was the speaker. And she said, excellence doesn't happen by accident, on accident. And so, as we're all thinking about being excellent and moving in our lives, there's work that we have to put in order to reap the harvest that we desire. And so I know you guys have done the work over the years and you continue to do the work. And we hope that by you sharing today that someone is inspired to continue to do the work so they can experience the greatness that you all are experiencing today. So thank you again for sharing your hearts, sharing your journey, and continue to be phenomenal, as Siobhan Noel Fleming said. Phenomenal ladies, you all are. To our audience, we thank you for joining us again for this month's episode. We appreciate your commitment. We appreciate your comments. And we hope that you all were blessed by this broadcast. Remember, I love you, but God loves you most and he loves you best. Peace, love, joy today and always. Cheers.
Thank you.